Hello, YouTube. This is Alan. I have some thrift store books here. I wanted to show you books I got at thrift stores. There are three thrift stores in my area, Northeast Dallas. Two of them are in the same shopping center. Shopping center was actually built around about the late 1950s. It has the intersection of two major roads, one going north and south, the other one going east and west. So the shopping center is divided into four sections. You have a northeast, northwest, and then you have a southeast and southwest. So there's stores come and go in that area also. Now I remember when there used to be a Sears store in the shopping center, a real small Sears store. And I would go in there when I was a teenager and sit down on the floor or on the small carpet and then watch college football games or boxing matches on Saturdays. They had a white cafeteria there where my family would buy the stuffing for Thanksgiving and beans or cranberry sauce, gravy for Thanksgiving or Christmas meal. And there was a lady there that played the organ. So Miss Inez, she was there for around 30 years. And as I said, stores came and went, and they built a mall about 20 miles south north, and that took away the Sears store, moved out, and a lot of other stores moved out. There was a Texas State Optical where I would go get my glasses adjusted several times, and never bought anything. A pair of glasses from there. I always went another place, another store. They didn't have a very good selection, so I didn't go. There was a menu store there, and I would go up there with Coke bottles and turn them in to be recycled and get some money back. And then I would go to the drugstore, and then at the drugstore I would look through the comic books on this metal spinner rack, and then I would go over there and buy candy. Now at that time there was a penny tax on the dollar. So if you bought something that rang up for $1, they would charge you a penny for sales tax. So the candy was small pieces of candy. It was like 5 cents to 10 cents. So what would I do? I would buy the nickel candy, go up to the counter because I only had $1 in my pocket. I go up to the counter with the candy, pay for the candy with $1, get a nickel back, and go back and get another piece of nickel candy, and pay for that with the nickel to avoid the sales tax. And also the shopping center had a pizza place, and that was a small little pizza place, like checkered tablecloth, red checkered tablecloths, and there was no beer or wine sold because it was a dry area. And see, when Prohibition ended, it was up to the states to decide which areas would be wet, which areas would be dry. Then it was up to the cities or the towns, small towns, to see if they wanted to be wet or dry. So in order to buy beer in the area where I lived in Dallas, you would have to go 20 miles to buy a 6-pack of beer. If you want to buy hard liquor, you would have to go 30 miles to buy it. So it's kind of a distance thing. You had to go off. So I lived in a dry area. So the pizza place where I had got my first job, the guy that owned the pizza place, I was around 16, 17 at the time, and the guy paid me 25 cents an hour to put flyers for his pizza place on cars. Just 25 cents an hour. And after I'm done, I would go and he would give me $1, you know, 50 cents, sometimes, a lot of times. And that was it. And that was enough to buy maybe a comic book, a Spider-Man comic book, which I enjoyed. And my brother was in the Fantastic Four. In fact, he still has his Fantastic Fours from the 70s. And has one with the Silver Surfer on it. He still has those. And I threw mine away. And so, yes, the stores came and went. And then now there's 2 thrift stores in that area. One thrift store has bookcases. It has 6 bookcases. And it's easier to look through those bookcases and see what books you want, what books you don't. In fact, it was the same one that thrift store where I found that the Creation Runner from New York Review of Books there. And that was kind of surprising. And one of the books I found was this one, Churchill by Andrew Roberts. And this is 1 volume biography, and this one came out, and it's new. It's see when it came out. It's by Viking Publication. Came out in 2018, and you see the price is still on it, $2.92, and this is a $40 book. This is 1 volume biography, and I have not got into this yet. It's over 900, almost 1,000 pages for this one. The other one is by a other thrift stores across the street. It's on the I think northeast corner. It's by a Walmart. The one I just mentioned is on the south west corner of the shopping center. So the one on the northeast corner, they had their thrift store. They had their books on top of the clothing rack. So you have a platform like this, and you have the clothes underneath, and you have to kind of move around people when they're there to make sure that you're looking at the books, and so people get in your way when they're looking for clothes. And they really don't have anything good. I haven't really found anything good there. And just a minute, I didn't pull this out yet. Sorry about that. I did find this one, The Private Life of Chairman Mao, by Dr. Lee Si-Su, translated by Tai Hong Kuo, and forwarded by Andrew J. Nathan. And this is also a big book. It's a chunker. It's 700 pages, and this was only $2. The next thrift store, third one, is south of that shopping center. Is actually another shopping center about half a mile, maybe less, away from that shopping center. This shopping center is divided also, but it's kind of strange because one side is a different name than the other side. One's called Ferguson Village, and the other one's called Oaks Plaza. And it's I don't know why they did just go with the same name, but it's kind of strange. And there was a pharmacy on one side, and then they had a soda fountain there. You can go in, sit down, order a grilled cheese sandwich, a shake, malt. And I remember when they had, during back to school, they would offer people who bought the school supplies there at the pharmacy. You could buy school supplies, and they would give you a box of ice cream bars. And so my family came home with three three boxes of ice cream bars, and they used to have a Piggly Wiggly there, and that's since left, and no other stores, grocery stores, went in that area. What's a shame brought that shopping center down. And the thrift store there is they're sponsored by the Animal Rescue, so the profits go to Animal Rescue, and it's right next to the Texas gym where I work out. This is a hardcore gym. The gym has no showers, no lockers, very little air conditioning. So if it's like 90 degrees outside, as soon as you walk into the gym, you already lost 10 pounds sweating. And very little machines. He has upgraded the gym a little bit by adding newer equipment, but still it's more of a hardcore gym. And there's a lot of weights, dumbbells, barbells, things of this nature. But the thrift store there, if you go inside and go to the back, you'll see this long wall with bookshelves on it, filled with books. And you think, well, that's it. No, it's not. Because around that bookshelf and on the other side, there are boxes, like 8 to 10 boxes, where they just dump books into that you have to go through. And it's haunting. You gotta pick up the books and put them aside and keep going, searching through all these boxes. And sometimes you'll find books like the medical textbooks or books that are been torn. I saw a book there that has started on page 62, went in on page 92. And that's it. That was it. That he just didn't throw that away. I would have. And you have to go through all this stuff. And there are some gems there if you do. Because I guess they keep them hidden through all that mess. So you spend like 2 hours searching through all these books. So I did find some gems in there. And this one is the Hermitage dogs. It's the treasures from the State Hermitage Museum in St. Petersburg. And this just shows pictures. And let's see when this came out. There's no date on it. And this just shows pictures of dogs. You have dog symbols of allegories, dogs in service, dogs of war, rescue dogs, and different type dogs, and paintings, drawings, different paintings. I like that one. That's a nice one. And this all it shows. This is the boar hunt. There's one right here. And it's one right here on a plate. So this is the back cover looks like. So this is the Hermitage Dogs. And this by itself on Unicorn Press. And I paid like 50 cents for this. And it's in excellent condition. And there's another one on a fan, dogs on a fan, and this one over here is stuffed dog, toy of a dog. So yeah, it's a great find. This other one is nice. This is really pretty. It's great condition. This is the Russian fairy tales, and it's a Balikov painting, and this shows it's in English, and it just shows different. This is at Pike's behest, and it has the English version right here. It's in English, the story, and shows the picture. And here's one that's called The Cockerel and the Golden Crest. This is beautiful illustrated cover. And it's just Russian fairy tales. And I've read some of these, and they're very, very good. There's one here called The Frog Princess. Oh, here's one. She's called the Seven Simeons, Seven Laborers. And it's a beautiful illustrated picture there. And then on the back, inside back cover, there was a price. And this is, I believe this is rubles. It's 555.00. 555. So yeah, that wasn't rubles. This next one that I found is the cover is pretty beaten up and worn, and this is, you can barely read it on the side. This is Kipling Soldiers 3, and someone had printed on here their name in the year 1908, and here it is. Soldiers 3, the story of the Gatsbys in black and white. And this was published by Doubleday, Page and Company for a Review of the Reviews Company, 1917. But if you look over here, it says copyright 1895 by Macmillan Company, copyright 1899 by Rudyard Kipling. And this is Rudyard Kipling's mark right here. This is a spot sticker in a circle with his signature right here. This is and I've read some of these, and they have written in the Old English style. And so right here is an example. It says O says ZZ, the captain, and you have the F in front of the what's his name, and pretend to listen. So it's kind of a and here's one right here. It says stop SOR, SORR, or you'll murder, MURDHER him. So it's kind of hard to, it's a little hard to read going it that way. But yeah, this is Kipling Soldiers 3. And this last one is the Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens. This is illustrated by Raffaello Bocini, illustrated Junior Library. And the dust jacket is torn up, but so I'll take the dust jacket off. And this is that's what this cover looks like. And this is inside front cover. That was the same picture that was on the same picture that's on the dust jacket. Let's turn off. This was check the pub date on this. Yeah, illustrated. Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, Illustrated Junior Library, Grasset and Dunlap Publishers, New York. And this is published in 1948. And it has the pen and ink illustrations, along with color illustrations in the book. A couple more. So yeah, this is a very good find. Like I said, you have to spend a lot of time searching through the book. And at the end, it has like the beautiful illustrated junior library editions. And they have several of them listed here, like Robinson Crusoe, Swiss Family Robinson, Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, and several of them. But this one's the only one I saw there. I do have another book I found at the thrift store. Just a minute, let me get it for you. Oh, yes, it's sorry about that. This one right here. This is somebody signed their name in 1923. This is Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. It's the New York Hearst and Company, the companion books, and it's not illustrated. And I had Googled this and found out the fact that Hearst was trying to compete with the another company in bringing out books like Kidnapped and Treasure Island and a lot of others. But what he did was he used cheap leather binding. This is very cheap, and there's several pages in the back that are just simply blank. So he's using the cheap material. I think it was selling for like 15 cents, but it didn't go over too well because it was just too cheap. And there's supposed to be a gold. There's a fake gold symbol right here, and that wore off pretty good. So yeah, that's Hearst didn't do very good in this his adventure into selling books. Well, that's it. BookTube. I thank you very much, and y'all have a good day.